Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on AWS budgets. So in this demo, we will create a monthly cost budget. We will create a zero spend budget. We will launch an EC2 instance for the EC2 hours budget. We will create a permissions policy for systems manager automation. We will create an IAM role and attach the permissions policy. We will create a third budget of type usage budget. And finally, we will clean up all the resources that we have created. So this is how the demo overview looks like. So we'll create a monthly cost budget that will track whether our spending has crossed or exceeded $10. Second, we will create a zero spend budget and that will track if our spending has crossed more than $0. And finally, the third type of budget, which is called as usage budget, and this will track whether our EC2 hours has crossed 1 hour. So for this demo, so that it will trigger quickly, so I'll just make it 1 hour, but you can change for your real world. So, and this usage budget depends on the monitoring of EC2 instance, and that requires system manager's automation. So system manager will basically use an IAM policy and IAM role to track this EC2, and if this one has crossed the hours usage that we have specified, then it will stop this particular EC2 instance. So first I will log into AWS console and search for budgets. So you will see budgets is a feature of billing and cost management. So I'll click this. And I will create my first budget. So this will be a template based, and so first I will create a monthly cost budget. And it's a template, so there are two options. You can use a template or use a customized version, and under that you will see few templates like zero spend budget, monthly cost, then daily savings plan coverage budget, and daily reservation utilization budget. So I'll copy the values. So I'll just call it monthly cost budget 1. Let me copy the value once again, and you can enter the amount here. So I'll just make it $10, and the recipient that you want to be notified. So I'll copy this value. Okay, and finally you can create the budget. So you can see you will be notified when your actual spend reaches 85%, so it will be $8.5, and when it reaches 100%. And thirdly, if your forecasted spend is expected to reach 100%. So I'll say create budget. So this is my first budget. Next, I will create a second budget, and this will be a zero spend budget. So I'll copy the name. So name will be the same. I'll just copy the email ID. So create budget and template zero spend budget. You can give whatever name you want to, and specify the recipients. So this will only one notification when you spend more than 1 cent, and create this budget. So there are two budgets which I have created, and as you can see, as soon as I created, it has exceeded because I have already spent more than 1 cent in this month, and the forecasted is showing as $1.01. And now we will create a third budget which will track the EC2 usage hours. So for this, what I can do, I can launch an EC2 instance beforehand. So I'll copy the EC2 instance name, search for EC2. I will open this in a new tab, launch instance, paste the name, and I will just say Amazon Linux. I will choose something which is not under free tier. So yeah, so this will be under instance type. So I'll just make it T2 small, and you don't need a key pair, and only one thing, that it needs system manager's automation. So it needs an instance profile. So if you click here, there is no IAM role setup, so I can create new IAM profile. So this will open in a new tab, and I have to create a role which is of type AWS service, and I will search for EC2 and if I select EC2, I can select a use case which is EC2 role for AWS Systems Manager. Then click on next, and that has default policy name Amazon SSM Managed Instance Core. Next, and give it a role name. So I'll just call it as, so this we have all done, and we have attached the policy as well, and I'll give it a name and create role. So the role is created. Now if I go back to the EC2, you will see if I just refresh, okay, it's under instance profile. So I'll just click refresh. I can see this role. So you can see this role only showed up even though we have many roles, because it is this will look for a role which can be assumed by EC2. Okay, and that's all. I can click on launch instance. So when it says key pair, so I can just say proceed without a key pair because I don't have to log into this machine. So this EC2 instance will launch, and if I go to the instances, so it is now running and initializing. So now I will create my third budget, and for this I have to create a role for Systems Manager Automation. So first I will create a policy. So I'll copy the policy document. If I go back to the screen, I will open policies in a new tab and create policy. So this policy is basically saying that it has permissions to stop EC2 instances, describe instances, and SSM automation like start automation execution and stop automation execution. So I'll copy the whole thing, go to JSON, paste the whole policy, click on next, and just provide a name. So copy the name and create policy. So this policy gets created, and now I need a role. So this role will be assumed by budget service. So if I go to the roles tab, I will create one more role. This is the second role, and this one will be assumed by budget service. So just budgets, and only one option is there, use case is budgets. And now I will take the policy which I have created. So I'll just say Systems Manager inline policy. Make sure you select this, click next, and provide a name. So I will call it budget actions role, and click on create role. So the role is created. So now I will create my third budget, which will be type customized, and it will be a usage budget. So I go back to the budget screen and click create budget. So choose this first or second option, customize, and under this you can see the different budget types. So cost budget, you have a usage budget, and you have savings plans budget, and some reservation budget. So savings plans budget will be used for savings plans option. This is in case you have some reservation of EC2 instances. And cost budget will be like you have a customized version. So you can say $10, and you can have different alert threshold. So it's a more customized version. But in this case, I will say usage budget. I'll click next, then give it a name. So I go back and copy the name. So I call it EC2 hours budget, and usage type groups. So I will say EC2 running hours. So usage type groups. So if I just come here, and I can see all the different types of option under usage. And in this case, I'm only interested in running hours. So I'll just say hours. So if I say hours, I can pick up ELB, I can pick up EC2 running hours, and I think those two are sufficient. Only I need actually this one only, but I'll pick the other one also. So I just want to show that you can have multiple. You can have RDS also, Redshift running hours also, or you can have OpenSearch running hours also. And then you set a budget amount. So I'll say monthly. So you have other options like daily, monthly, quarterly, annually. And I can say recurring or expiring. So recurring will repeat. It will just continue every month. It will start fresh. Expiring means it will start and there's an end date. And I will enter an amount. So I'll just say $10. Sorry, I'll just say make it $1 because I want it to trigger immediately because for the demo. And I'll say okay, all AWS services. Click on next. Now in this case I will add an alert threshold. So this threshold will be tracking that I want 10% of my budgeted amount I want to trigger a notification. So I'll say add an alert threshold. So this is the first alert. So because I want it to trigger immediately, I want 10%, which will be 1 hour, it will be like within 6 minutes. So I say actual and provide recipients. So I'll copy the recipients. And that's all. So this is the threshold, alert threshold. Click on next. Now I can add action which I wanted to showcase. So in this case I want to stop the EC2 instances as soon as it has crossed 6 minutes or more. So for this I have to choose the role which has the permissions to do that action. So if I just search for budgets, so you will see only this option will be valid because this has the policy and which action type should be applied when the budget threshold has been exceeded. So I'll just say automate instances to stop, and in this case you can choose EC2 and RDS. You have to choose the region. So I'll say US East 1 and then select the instance. So there is only one, that's why I started because you have to choose. Currently there is no other way, like you have to manually come here and choose the EC2 instances. So do you want to run this action automatically? Yes. And same alert settings when you define this threshold. So click on next. And finally review and create. So before I create, you will see I'll go back to EC2 instances. I will just refresh it and you will see it's all running and good. But now as soon as I say it create, it will stop because my monthly quota has already exceeded. So this is the total which I have already spent. So it has exceeded. So there is one alert threshold. And if I let me go to the screen, and so as you can see immediately this has gone to stopping state. So if I come to the screen and let me just refresh this page once again. So you will see there's a threshold which is exceeded and there is actions which is completed. If I click this, it will be there is one alert. And if I click this alert link, you will see all the action history. So it was stopped. Like first it will go to standby state, then it will stop the EC2 instance. So this is the one. So there is only one which got stopped because of action we have attached to this particular budget. And yeah, so that's how we can take some action based on the budget. So we have created budget and all. And we have seen. So now it should also trigger an email. So I'll just go to the test email and you will see this was just stopped 1 minute ago, and this is the EC2 instance. Also it triggered the different notification that my zero spend budget has exceeded and my EC2 hours budget also has been exceeded. Only budget which is not exceeded was the $10 budget. So if I go to the budget screens and come here, so these are all my budgets. So for your production environment or real world projects, you can create multiple budgets, and you can have customized version. This is the customized version, and in customized version you can have a cost and you can have different alert threshold, or you can create multiple budgets over here. Let's say this is the $10 budget. You can have $5 budget and $20 budget. So every time you exceed, you will get a notification. And then you can have some actions also which can trigger some kind of like stopping of EC2 instances or something of that sort, so that you know for sure that if you have crossed that limit, it should go ahead and stop those EC2 or RDS instances. And we have all seen this. And okay, now I will just clean up all the resources. So first I will delete all 3 budgets. So I come to the screen, select all actions and click on delete, confirm. So budgets got deleted. Next, terminate the EC2 instance. Even though it's in stopping state, I can save some more money by even not having any storage. So select this and terminate. So this got terminated. Now delete the inline policy. So this is systems manager inline policy. So if I just scroll down, so okay, let me just type in. So I just have to refresh it. In the meantime, I will delete the roles also. So we have budget actions role. So select this and delete. Copy paste the name. And this will delete the budget. And second, we have created a SSM manager role. So I will just keep it very clean and I will delete this role also because it's no longer required. So copy paste the name and click on delete. And here the systems manager. Okay, so maybe its name. So I'll copy the whole name and so I'll select the policy and now copy the whole policy name, paste and delete. So this will delete the policy also. And that's all. Thanks for watching.